feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
So we just wrapped up an exciting podcast here at the Shrimp Tank Boston with Michele Nadeem-Baker, who is a reputational brand management consultant and a PR consultant. And Michele, we're really excited to have you here today. Could you give us an idea why our listeners today are going to get some great value content on your specialty?
Thank you, Mark. And thank you, Michael. I'm so happy to be here on Shrimp Tank and be able to share with all of you some of the do's and don'ts of communications, why it's so important to have your reputation in mind throughout the course of building your business and maintaining your reputation, both that of your company and also that of yourself, because you are your brand. And when you listen in on our podcast, you're going to learn so much more.
And we had a great conversation about the recent Varsity Blues scandal, and Michele was able to give some very good insight into brand management and crisis management and how it's important to have a plan ahead of time before you have a crisis.
Yeah, basically what Mark and Michael were asking me, and you'll hear when you tune in, is so what happens if I get a call from someone who says, I'm in the middle of this Varsity Blues scandal? What do I do? Well, basically, if you don't have a communications plan already, you should always plan ahead, then it might be too late. So I hope you stay tuned and listen to us.
One of the other things that I thought was really interesting, Michele, was the concept of the brand and you and our corporation. So I thought the listeners would get a lot out of that, and maybe you could give a little teaser for that, because personally that was a great experience.
Sure. All of us who have had companies and who currently are heading companies, you've worked so hard at building that company and building the brand. Don't let something throw you off base like a social media scandal or something that's happened like we were speaking of on Varsity Blues. Just remember that you are the brand as well as the actual brand of your company. For instance, with Mark, he would also be part of the brand of Oxygen Financial. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. Always need to keep that in mind.
So, Michele, for our podcast listeners, how can everyone get in touch with you?
Well, thank you. You can reach me. I'll give you my personal email. If you need any help with communications, advisement, counsel, you can reach me, Michele Nadeem-Baker, at Michele, Michele, Nadeem, that's N as in Nicholas, Adeem, @gmail.com. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
So please remember to download our podcast, our nationally syndicated podcast, through iHeartRadio and Google Play, so you can hear more interesting concepts through entrepreneurs where book smarts meets street smarts. Thank you.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp